All right, hey everybody, Richard and Nathan, we are back once again. We're going to have another conversation on relevant topics that we believe you absolutely need to be a part of. So far this has been going well. This is, I don't know, nobody's counting, but it's our fourth episode. Fourth episode. So, and it seems to be going really well. What do you think?
So far, so good.
So far, so good. Okay, good. Well, what we're hearing back, it seems to be going well. So
yes.
We're getting a lot of feedback from a lot of you. Thank you so much for doing that. We would like more feedback. Some of you have been responding to the YouTube, actual YouTube video in the comments down below. Some of you, I think maybe you want your comments to be a little bit more private and you're emailing either Richard or your salesman directly. That's great. However you send feedback is great. We do like it if you put it on the YouTube channel, so that then that way it might spark open conversation or we can reference that openly. But hey, if you give feedback privately through email, that's great. So, but we've had some positive feedback.
Yeah, we've had a lot of people comment and some great comments, some really good stuff.
Yeah, actually there is one here. Let me pull it up here real fast. There's one that was very specific. If it's on the second video that we released. In fact, it's actually, I'm sorry, it's on the third conversation that we had, but I think it's really good. And I want to read this because I think this is kind of the conversation that we're trying to get going. So let's see. Okay, I found the first two videos very informative. We started out as online only, pro audio, no guitars. We opened a retail store about 4 to 5 years ago, and I had no music store experience. I think we've done a very good job of interacting with our customers, but our conversation on customer interaction in the archery anecdote was a good one and was a good starting point for a conversation with our salespeople and customer interaction. We had a very productive and useful conversation as a result, and I think we tweaked things a little to improve that interaction with in-store customers. So keep it up.
Yeah.
So that's positive.
Yeah,
so
positive.
One of our customers that's been buying from MIRC for quite a while.
Yeah.
Saw some really good fruit to pick out of the videos that we've been talking about.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and there was some great comments along with other stuff, but it provoked a lot of thought for him to not only think about, but also to talk about to his staff about, which is good.
That's exactly right. And actually, to be honest with you, if you guys have any kind of feedback on conversations that you've had with your staff based off of these conversations, we would love to know about that. So, because we hope that that will actually spark future conversation as we go along.
Yes.
So. But again, just kind of reiterate your heart of some of this, of why we're doing this based off the feedback we're getting. So this is a lot of fun. We're having great conversation. And,
mostly,
and
we're not talking about guitar contests,
Yes, somebody do that. But yeah, just share your heart again real fast about the positive side of why we're doing this.
Yeah, I think it's real important for us to have conversations.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that are afraid to approach things, or afraid to talk about it. But I think not only in life in general, but in this industry, we need to just talk about things so we can learn and we can help each other out. And that's what we're doing right now. So sometimes it appears that we're talking about hot button topics, but we're just not afraid to talk about it.
Yeah.
And we want to continue it because, like I said, in one of the videos, there's a lot of staff that are flying blind. There's a lot of owners out there that have no one to turn to, and we want to do our part the best that we possibly can to just open things up so we can talk about it. It could be, again, the owner and the staff. It could be the owner and us. It doesn't matter who it is, as long as we just open up conversation.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And some of the feedback, I think, is very positive in the fact that it causes people to reevaluate. I mean, we did talk a little bit about setting goals. I mean, those businesses that aren't setting goals, or maybe they're not setting very in-depth goals, they might now go, oh, okay, man, I really need to maybe take this another step or two steps forward. So that, and it gives them a chance to kind of reevaluate everything that they're doing.
Yeah,
so.
And I think some of it, it helps us be accountable for ourselves.
Yeah.
Because sometimes we don't have anybody somebody holding us accountable, and we have to hold ourselves accountable, and setting goals is a good start.
Yeah, that's right. And I was trying to think of, we had some other great feedback that maybe we'll get into future conversations down the road, you know, that I think will really kind of spur some, I think it's going to be some really good conversations. And, you know, hot button topics are hot button topics for a reason, you know, I mean,
it's okay.
They're typically a lot of times, you know, they're real life situations that sometimes people don't want to address within themselves.
Sure.
Or maybe they think they do want to address it, but they don't know how to do it.
Correct.
Or they don't, you know, or they just flat out I just don't even want to deal with it.
Sure.
So maybe through these conversations we can, I don't know, we can just encourage people to become better business owners.
Air out the room.
Air out the room and become better business owners. So, but one of the things that I think we can talk about right now is obviously this is going into mindset.
Yes.
So the mindset of the business owners, especially in the MI world, is there's some mindsets that are helpful, some mindsets that maybe need to be reevaluated and aren't as helpful.
Yes.
So why don't we kind of dive into that a little bit?
Well, and I'll give our dealers some kind of inside information or inside conversations that we have, and usually people will fill out leads. They contact us and let us know, hey, I'm interested in being a dealer. And I call those leads, and on occasion yourself and other salesmen call the leads, and we qualify them and we have conversation with them. And there's usually, within the first 5 minutes, I can figure out what kind of dealer they're going to be.
Exactly.
And it's their mindset. And oftentimes you can attest to me saying, this guy's going to be really good, or this guy's, yeah, we're going to have to invest in this guy, we're going to have to educate him, we're going to have to show him the industry. But so much of it starts with a mindset, and they bring that in. You know, it's not even developed by us, it's not even dealt with by us, it's the mindset they bring in. Yesterday at lunch, we were talking, we had a salesman's lunch. You were there, you know. Yeah. And we talked about a certain dealer who was very successful, and I made the comment, it didn't matter what business he would be in, he would be successful. It's not our mindset, it's his mindset that he brings to the table.
Yeah, that's right. And, you know, even reflecting on that mindset, you know, I think we get a unique perspective on this, because we are a wholesale company, so therefore we have businesses coming to us who want to retail our product, and so we get a lot of you know, a lot of people with different mindsets that come across the table. There is something though about that person though that is you know, they can be extremely positive. There are some people that come to the table, they're just kind of like, I don't know.
Debbie Downers.
I'm just trying to look to see what you have, because there's just not much out there and I don't know what to do.
They're
and
defeated.
They're defeated, and it's almost like they're kind of window shopping, where you have some people who are just like, hey, I've heard of your company, I've seen your guitars, I need your guitars because I know I can do well with them.
Yeah, and that's the conversations they have with us, but it doesn't even have to be about us or our product. That's the way they carry themselves in general in life. And that's the key to all this. I mean, we're going to reference us because that's the example that we use. It's not because we're going out of our way to promote it. We're just saying the mindset in general is something that's brought mostly to the table by our dealers. And you're right, a lot of people will wake up every morning and no matter what happens, I'm going to try to have a good day, or I'm going to have a good day. And some people go, oh God, I don't want to go to work, I don't want to do this, and it's in their mindset. But how quickly and how easily we can change our mindset and turn it around to be positive.
Yeah, and we've all heard this famous sayings, you know, about, you know, you find out what you love to do, you'll never go to...
You'll never have a job again, or something like that.
Yeah, day of your life or something like that.
Work a day of your life, yeah.
Yeah, man, we just totally slaughtered that.
Yeah, I don't care. I guess we haven't found out what we liked, huh?
I guess.
I'm a drummer selling guitars, so you know that's
right.
That's my problem.
That was funny. Maybe we should flash that across the screen to get it right. But we get the point.
And we can edit it too. Yeah.
That was horrible. But the point of it is.
I think they just tuned us out and turned it off. So
that's right. Hey, turn us back on. But you know, the positive mindset is helpful because you know it's typically people who love doing their job. You know, they love being in the music industry. The MI business. They love having music stores. They love selling online. They find the adventure. They find the, you know, I even mentioned to one of my clients the other day who has a very positive mindset, and he's been very successful over the last couple of years, and made a comment about, hey, man, you want to go out, kill it, and drag it home.
Yes.
And the funny thing, he had never heard that before.
Really?
And, but it was, so we kind of laughed about it. We talked about it. He's like, what do you mean? I was like, man, every day when we talk or we email, you are always trying to find how you can be moving forward. You're trying to find a way to sell guitars. You're trying to find a way to buy more guitars, or even more of the guitars that you feel like you need. It's a constant struggle every day to be moving forward. It's not, which would contrast the mindset of people who just try to survive. So I think that's good. So this sense that customers are always moving forward. So, but what do you have to say to people who, like, what would you say if you're in a conversation with your customers that feels like everything's against them?
Yeah, and I hate repeating it, but it is a mindset. You know, I'll never forget. And I've used this example, calling a customer and saying, hey, you know, we're talking about guitars and buying guitars. And he's like, oh, I don't have no money. I'm not selling anything. I haven't sold anything for a couple weeks. And the story's on and on about how negative and how down in the dumps. And then, you know, I dread calling this guy because everything was so negative all the time. So I was like, man, how do I turn this around? And I remember saying, well, you must be selling something because you're still in business. Your lights are still on. You're paying your bills. You got to be selling something. What are you selling? And then slowly through the process, finding out that he was selling guitars, I'm like, well, great. You're selling this model, and you're selling this one, and you're selling this one. See, you're selling guitars. And he says, oh, I guess I am.
Isn't that interesting?
And it blew my mind because I was like, yeah, man, you're doing okay. Let's find you some more guitars like these models so you can sell more. And then by the time we get off the phone, he's in a good mood. But when I get on the phone, it's like clockwork. He's in a down and dump attitude. He ain't selling nothing. The sky is falling. And then we have to spend so much energy and effort to bring him up. But what a difference it would be for him and his family and his friends and his life if he just walked into his music store every day and goes, man, I've been selling guitars lately. I haven't been selling as much as I want. You know, we still have to be honest with ourselves. And if it's summer or whatever the season is, maybe you're not selling as much as you want, but you're still selling stuff. You're still in business. You're still thriving to some degree. Now let's work on how can you sell more? How can you thrive more? And again, it's that mindset of making a decision. Is like, what do I want to do? Do I want to make something happen or let it happen to me?
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting that person, even in the midst of selling enough product through their stores that they're they're paying the bills, keeping the lights open.
Yeah.
Their mindset was to naturally just see the negative.
Yes.
So, and I guess that's, in essence, that's kind of what we're talking about is the mindset of, do you look at everything from a negative light, or do you look everything from the potential of the positive and where you can go? So, I mean, because ultimately at the end of the day, I mean, people have to believe that they can succeed, right?
Absolutely. Yes.
Yeah. So, I don't know. There's got to be some examples out there of good stories that will drive this home. You know, about people who, you know, people want to carry certain product in their stores. They don't want to carry certain product in their stores. I don't know. What are some examples that help us talk this through? Like even like the Starcaster example.
Okay. I think it was about 3 or 4 years ago. We had a bunch of the Starcasters.
Yeah.
And we're always trying to run promotions. We're always trying to do something different. I mean, I spend countless hours sometimes trying to brainstorm to come up with a different idea to make it fresh and fun and exciting. And I'll never forget where we ran a promotion, and I don't remember all the details, where it was like if you order 500 or 1,000 or 50, I don't remember the numbers, you get a free Starcaster. And so it's a free Strat style guitar.
What a great deal. Free guitar.
It's free, absolutely free.
Free.
Free guitar.
Free guitar.
If you do this, or don't do that because they're gonna go, when are we gonna do that again? So we got to stop that. We don't have any more Starcasters. And anyways, so I'll never forget, we had a couple sales, not much, there was just a few.
Yeah.
We had a couple salesmen come up and go, this music store said, I don't want to stock that crap in my store. And I'm like, I didn't know what to say because I couldn't choke them because they were in another state.
Yeah.
And, you know, I just couldn't do that. Anyways, fast forward to the winter show, the Winter NAMM show. So we're sitting down and talking. We're talking to a couple guys, and I bring this up. And I'm like, you wouldn't believe it. We had a dealer that said, I don't even want a free guitar. We don't even... What was that guy? And I didn't know at the time, and I'm like, oh no. And I'm like going, yeah, I don't want this crap in my store. And he goes, well, that was me. And then, you know, how do you rebound from that?
Yeah.
But my thought was, so you didn't want the guitar in the store. You can, I even said, you can give it to a mom who can't afford to buy their son or daughter a guitar. You could raffle it off. You could give it away. You can sell it and buy pizza for the guys and girls in your store.
Yeah.
You could sell it and take your wife out to dinner. There's a lot of things that you can do, but his attitude is, I don't even want that in my store. Well, but I'm not done because I got to get this out.
Okay.
So we begin to ask and kind of find out, qualify his store, and we got to, well, man, I thought it was just a big store. Maybe just didn't do a ton of business with us, but I didn't know, and we asked. It got around to how much he sold every day, and he said a big day for me is to sell $500 worth of stuff, and that was a telltale to me.
Yeah.
It was like,
yeah, well, on the contrast of successful businesses are doing thousands and thousands of dollars a day, but that's the mindset we're talking about,
yes,
right?
Absolutely.
The mindset that somehow they couldn't even see the positive.
They couldn't see the positive, and that's what the key is.
That's right. Like even to like the example of, hey, I'll bring this in, I'll sell it, and I'll buy my staff some pizza.
Absolutely.
I mean, the mindset of
sell it to a mom really super cheap. Give it to the mom.
Yes.
So they'll. I mean, we can give it to charity. There's so much positive that we can do with it, but their attitude was, don't even ship it.
Yeah, I don't even get that. And that you know, it's hard.
He's not a dealer no more. I don't even know if he's in business anymore.
Well,
he should have took it. He'd still be in business. No, I'm just kidding.
At least they'd remember the pizza he bought for staff or something.
I don't know if he had much staff.
Yeah, but
in comes the hate mail.
He's watching this right now.
Yeah.
But I guess, you know, a lot of times is from our perspective, you know, we always try to be positive.
Absolutely.
We're always trying to be moving forward. We're trying to
Yes.
figure out ways that we can help our dealers. We can be positive with our dealers, and so a lot of times, in turn, you know, we're trying to ask for a positive mindset even to come back with us, because realistically at the end of the day, they're a business, we're a business, we all have to make money, but also at the same time we have to collaborate together and create win-win situations, and that needs to be a positive mindset, right?
Absolutely, and that's something, if we're not careful, we forget. From like music store to manufacturer, there's a lot of times there is a big disconnect, or we feel like there is. And what we want to do as much as possible is to bridge that, so we can partner with these people, because like you said, at the end of the day, we have to do something. It's either we're selling cars, or we're selling something, or we're selling guitars, or we're digging ditches, or doing something, but we all need jobs. We all need income. We're very, very fortunate to be able to do this, so we might as well have fun. We might as well go home in a good mood. We might as well come to work in a good mood. And so much it is our decision, and that's the stress of this. It's our choice, our decision to win in this battle. Because
in reality, the people who have the mentality of it, man, everything seems to be against me, whether it's the big box stores or there's those guitars are saturated online, you know, realistically, those people have to make a choice at some point in time to
Yes.
start viewing it in a positive light
Yeah.
if they want to be successful.
And the sad thing is how much we can limit our success with. And I'll break it down to an employee, not even an owner or a store or anything, but an employee. And you know who I'm going to talk about is a guy in the warehouse who was one of the best workers, but his attitude was so defeated. He was such a Debbie Downer. He always seen the bad in everything.
Yeah.
And what a drain it was to even deal with him. To even come up and talk about, hey, we have a load of 10 pallets of guitars coming in, or we have 500 or 1,000 guitars come in. It was like a drama fest. It was all negative. It was all this negative energy. Today, we have another guy who is learning to be as good. He will be as good. He just hasn't been here as long. His attitude is a 180.
Yeah.
And it is so easy for me to do business with him. It's so easy to have conversations with him because I'm not dreading it.
Oh yeah,
You
it's
know,
refreshing.
and I don't have to say, you know, if you don't like it, get out of here.
Yeah.
You know, I go up and said, hey, we've got a shipment coming in. And he's like, okay, yeah, I'll take care of it. And you're like, nothing else? That's it? And
Yeah.
it's like, I'll take care of it. And I'm like, oh my God, this is the greatest thing in the world.
And don't we need to realize at some point in time that if people have a negative mindset towards anybody else that they're doing business with, what do they feel, what do they think their customers, the vibe they're getting when they're walking in the store to buy something? I mean, I've literally heard people I've been on the phone with, I'm talking to them, they're ordering guitars, and sometimes it's funny, and they're like, hold on just a second, and they'll be like, hey, don't touch that. If you need some help with that, you need to ask first. And they'll be like, okay, I'm back. And I'm like, holy cow, did that person just turn around and walk out of your store?
Exactly.
You know, and hold on, I got to tell a quick story. When I was, you know, young and stupid, now I'm just not young anymore.
You're older and stupid.
Yeah, now I'm older and stupid. But I mean, I was in a music store in Columbus, Ohio, and I was sitting there and I was trying out this
They're
guitar.
having a guitar contest.
I wish I was in a guitar contest. I would have sucked, but it would have been fun. But man, I was sitting there playing. It was this Marshall head. I wanted to try it out. And then there's a guy right down the couple amps down that he plugged it in. And I was playing something, and then he noticed what I was playing and kind of played a note on top of it. You know?
My biggest nightmare. Go ahead. Go ahead.
You know, but this is going somewhere. This is going somewhere.
All right.
So I'm sitting there playing, then all of a sudden, I think I was just like, I don't know what I was playing. It's like, dun, 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 and the guy's like, dun, 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 dun. You know, he's sitting there playing, and then all of a sudden we're looking at each other and we're playing, we're having a good time and trying out this amp, and it was real positive. Then the owner of the store goes, hey guys, hey, if you want to practice, go home. Like that, and I was like, I sat there and looked at the guy. You know, you're a little embarrassed. You kind of unplug it.
Yeah.
Yeah. You put the guitar back on the wall and you turned around and walked out.
Yeah.
And I don't think I ever walked back in that store
Wow.
again. But
And,
you know,
and the owner was happy about that, but you were,
well, maybe,
what's the point here?
Yeah, maybe it was.
Yeah.
I don't know. But my point is you know, the mindset.
He could have done it a little differently.
He could have done it a little
Yeah.
differently. He could have come over and gotten a conversation.
He could have just unplugged it for you.
You could have had a sign that said no stairway
No
on the
stairway,
wall. I don't
yeah.
know. But something. But it's that mindset that, like, you know, it's always like, hey, you guys
Was that in Arizona where I was at? Because I think I did something similar to that. But I think I walked over and I unplugged an amp and go, okay, Elvis, we're done.
Yeah, hey, I get it, man.
Yeah.
Music store owners are probably like, this is driving me batty.
Oh,
but,
yeah.
But hey, didn't they choose to be in this business?
Especially when they played like Nirvana. Oh my God, when Nirvana was popular, I hated, you know, the same riffs all the time. But anyways, go ahead. We're digressing. What are we talking about?
No, we're talking about mindset.
Oh,
but
wow.
Now we're talking about how maybe we actually
My
kind of
mindset
support
then
that
was
mindset.
stinking thinking. You know?
But you know, but my point is to my client that was on the phone that told him, kind of snapped at him.
Yeah.
Or in that instance, you know, I'm sitting there going, gosh, crap. This is a small mom and pop store.
Yeah.
From then on, I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly, I went up to the Sam Ash that was 10 miles away farther.
Wow.
You know,
Yeah.
and you know, maybe it was because, you know, it was an attack on my guitar playing skills.
Sure, yeah.
But still, at the same time, it's that positive moving forward. You know, how can you be successful? You know, with that guy's mindset, You know, he could have been like, gosh, my job sucks. I hate this. I don't want to do this anymore. What am I trying to figure out? I'm not selling anything. And now I've got guys jamming in here. And now the next thing you know, that negative mindset is starting to flow over into your customers.
Yeah, and I think a lot of times we like take adversity. There's a couple things we can do with adversity, and I think a lot of times it gives us the opportunity to be either super positive or negative.
Yeah.
So you have an attack on you. You have something coming in. You know, maybe it's slow in your music store. Maybe there's something going on that is perceived as a negative. Yeah. At that time, you make a choice and a decision. How am I going to overcome this? How are we going to win in this situation? Because you can either go down a negative road or you can go down a positive road and accomplish it. And a lot of times our dealers that are the strongest and become some of the better dealers have dealt with adversity in their life, and they've learned to overcome that and to be successful with it. So that's another part of it, is how we handle that adversity.
Yes.
And a lot of times we have music stores that is faced daily with some kind of adversity, and it's how we what we do with it that truly defines who we are. And that's something that's very, very important, because a lot of times, like the guy that I'm referring to, he had adversity going on. He may not be selling what he was used to, and so he was down in the dumps. He was negative. He was he went the wrong way.
Yeah.
Instead of going, okay, I'm not selling what I'd like to. It's a slow time of year. What can I do to bring traffic in here? Whether it's a sale, a promotion, or anything, just to get some excitement going on.
Yeah.
And his mindset, it was either you go left or you go right. And he went the wrong way.
Yeah, and obviously, as we talk about these, all of these things, we're going to cross-reference some issues. You know, we talked about setting goals the last video, and so setting goals is something that can support a positive mindset.
Yeah, and another thing on that, and this is just popping in my mind, setting goals can also help bail you out. You know, if you're in a bad situation. And, you know, again, we talked about adversity. If you're facing adversity and you don't know what to do, sometimes you can go back to your goals and it refocuses you, it realigns you, and you can go, okay, this is what I need to do. And then you can shoot and you can hit some of those goals, or go to achieve some of those goals.
Yeah, okay. So, yeah, I don't know. I mean, the positive mindset, I mean, I think either you realize maybe you have it, or maybe you realize you've got to change your attitude. So.
Yeah, and again, and then I'll bring it more towards me, and I don't want to go into all the details because that's not what it's about. But even the last couple years of my life, you know, there's been a lot of crossroads. There's been a lot of adversity that I've had to deal with. Yeah. And, you know, thankfully, during some of those times, and again, some of them have been really rough, you make a decision, you make a choice. What do I want the outcome to look like? How do I want to affect people around me? How do I want it to affect me? What do I want to accomplish in all this? And it truly comes to a mindset.
Yeah.
You know, I'll never forget, and again, I don't want to go into the details of this, making a statement to my sister, I'm going to overcome this. And it was in a situation that it's probably not an easy phrase to say, but actually do.
Yeah.
And my sister even said, Richard, I know you will.
Yeah.
And it all came down to a mindset. That's what it all was about. And that was a mindset that I carried in life in general.
Yeah, absolutely.
And she knew that. She felt it, and she actually quit doubting what the circumstance was and started believing.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and absolutely, and obviously we've seen that positive mindset flow into here.
Yes.
So, and we're grateful for that. So, but yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, music store owners, they have personal things. They have real life going on.
Life happens.
Life happens. They have children that have issues. They, you know, they have family members that have issues that then they've got to wake up in the morning, they've got to go to work, and somehow they've got to, you know, not tell somebody, hey, put that down if you need help.
Absolutely.
And, you know, they've got to have that positive mindset that's going to flow in and say, hey, today I'm going to be successful. Today I might not do everything that I want to do, but you know what? I'm going to try my hardest to do that.
Absolutely.
And so, yeah, we obviously here at MIRC, you know, we appreciate that, and that mindset really does go a long way.
Yeah, and there's a lot of ways that you can do it, and I don't even know exactly where I'm going to end up with all this, but sometimes when we're in a down and a negative situation, because let's be honest, we have cycles in our life to where we're super positive, and sometimes we're just not.
Yeah.
You know, again, I said life happens to us, and some things are out of our control, and we just don't know. And there's certain times that I know for me, that if I'm in a situation like that, I try to look and try to do something positive to try to shift and change my mindset. And something that just popped into my head is charity, you know. And sometimes when I'm when I'm going through something and things is just not working the way I want it to, I think about how can I help other people? How can I what can I do? And I can go through a list of charities that we as a company have been involved. I have personally been involved, but that's not the point. The point is shifting my mind and get it on something positive. And I said, man, I'm very fortunate. I'm very lucky. And I want to find people that are less fortunate and maybe have gone through some of the situations that maybe I have or I know about, and I want to help them get out of it. And so it's amazing how sometimes that's what we can use to shift our mindset to get back positive. But the one thing that we have to do as store owners, and I say store owners as a general, it can be online, it could be, you know, everybody we do business with, is we've got to guard our mind. We've got to protect it. We've got to be cautious as much as we possibly can to make sure that we shift our mind back to where we want it to.
Yeah.
A personal struggle, and I can be candid and we can talk about this, is not to be as upbeat that I feel that I am or I can be. I can be a little sarcastic. I can be fill in the blank. And it's very easy for me to go down that road. Very easy. But I've been down that road and only to find that that's what my life becomes. I become sarcastic or negative in a lot of situations, and then I had to stop and say, I don't want to be like this. So what I'm talking about, it isn't something that all of us are born with or born without, and you can't help it. All of this is something that you can help. And so I constantly guard myself to be cautious, to be too sarcastic and sometimes negative. Sometimes I just got to stop and go, I don't want to be like that. I got to stop thinking that way, and I have to make a mind shift.
Which in some instances that's easier for some than others. Some
Correct.
people have that natural bent to want to go down
It's a
the
choice,
negative
though.
side,
It's
but
a
you got to
choice.
make the
Yes.
choice to kind of go,
Absolutely.
I'm going to be positive.
Yes.
I'm going to have a good mindset
Yes.
going into this. And charity, I think charity is a great deal. And of course, we would never, ever promote charity to leverage you to be successful. But you know, but charity is just a great way to get involved in other
It's a
people's
great
lives.
way.
You know,
Yes,
even
absolutely.
online people can
Yes.
take on a charity and say, hey, you know, a small portion to everything that I sell might go to help benefit these people.
Absolutely.
And you're not sitting there going, hey, if I promote this, people will buy from me more. But more of the fact that, hey,
That's who you are.
That's
Yes.
who you are.
Yes,
you have
absolutely.
the heart and the attitude
Absolutely.
to
Yes.
want to help people.
Yes.
And then now you can kind of invite other people in to do that as well. I think that's a great thing that everybody could probably use to improve their mindset.
Absolutely. I believe it 100%. And how powerful, not only, and we talked about setting goals, and this kind of ties in how powerful it is to let your employees know what your goals are so they can work with you. But the same thing goes with charity or even switching your mind. And sometimes I think it comes down to confessing it. You know, if you're a store owner, that your kind of MO is to be kind of grumpy and negative and whatever, but that's not who you want to be. Maybe it's just have a conversation with your staff and go, listen, guys, I know I've been this way. It's not what I want to be like. I'm trying to change.
Yeah.
and maybe sometimes confessing that, or this is the way I want us to be. As a team, as a store, as part of our community, I want us to be goal-orientated, I want us to switch our minds, and I want to be stronger, and I want to move towards these goals, and I want to just be a better person.
Yeah, absolutely. And that actually brings up the idea that, you know, as a store owner, you know, you have to worry about your mindset, but man, you also have to contribute to the mindset of your employees.
Absolutely.
You know, if their if their mindsets are negative, that's something you have to deal with. If they're, if they need to move to positive, and you know, a lot of businesses, even including here, you know, we do Employee of the Month that recognizes people, puts positive mindset in motion.
And we also have a no gossip policy.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. But you know, some people will naturally go down to that negative road, and then they gossip about everybody in the business and the turmoil and the negativity that brings. But if you come out and say, when I hire somebody, and I say we have a no gossip policy, it kind of puts that in check, and they correct that mindset. They stop and go, I'm not going to get into the habit here. Maybe that's kind of who they are, or maybe they think, well, people will like me a little bit more. Whatever their insecurity is that they're wrestling with, it sometimes immediately stops that.
Yeah, and it gets almost to that gut check time to go, no, actually, I'm here to work. I'm here to contribute. I need a positive mindset to make sure that I'm contributing.
Absolutely.
You know, to what we're doing. So, but yeah, to be at the end of the day, man, there's a lot to it. You know, real life happens to real people, and we get that. And we understand it. It happens to us.
Absolutely.
You know, so my, my wife and kids are out of town this morning, and I had to take care of our new puppy this morning. So I very well could have started out on a very negative mindset.
I know.
mindset this morning. You know, but it's a choice. So. But we're here, so, but I don't know, you have anything else to contribute to that? Or?
No, I just think it's an exciting topic. I know it doesn't sound like it, and sometimes we can go all over the map with this, but it's truly probably the best and the biggest topic that we can have, because it impacts everything in life. It impacts our vendors, our employees, our spouses, everybody that we run into, and it all comes down to a choice. We have a choice of how we want to act, how we want to conduct, and what we want to do. And now we're kind of sliding into different areas of it by, you know, being grumpy or whatever, but that's kind of not what we wanted to do, but I guess we can end up there. But a lot of it is the mindset of achieving and accomplishing things. So I don't want to go down that road too far, but it's truly about accomplishing and achieving. Last thing, and I'm going to butcher this, kind of like what we butchered earlier, but again, we can edit it out.
That's okay.
I recently listened to something, and it was called the 4-Minute Mile.
Okay.
And it had an athlete that was going to run a 4-minute mile, and everybody was telling him how impossible it was. There's no way you can accomplish this. No one has ever done this before. There's no way. And he practiced and raced and went and on and on and on and on. And he finally got to a point through training and everything to where he hit a 4-minute mile. And everybody was like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. Well, through his life, everybody said nobody runs a 4-minute mile. And he broke the record. He hit a 4-minute mile. The following year, 12 people hit a 4-minute mile. And so the ultimate question is, what is your 4-minute mile?
Yeah. And what a huge deal, because like you just said, everybody has their own 4-minute mile. Which is incorporated, you know, obviously with goals, setting goals. But man, what a positive mindset to be able to accomplish that.
Absolutely.
You know, how can we as business owners, you know, have a positive mindset on an hourly, on a daily, on a weekly, and a monthly basis? You know, so we just never know, you know, how, you know, just the ripple effect that a positive mindset can have
Yeah.
on not only you, but that person who walked in the store to buy something from you, from that employee that you have that's going to help maybe sell that.
Yes.
And just that positive mindset just kind of ripples out. And so
Yeah.
people when they come to us, and you, like you said, we get new leads and they have that positive mindset because they're like, man, I'm ready to go.
Yes,
I know I can
yes.
do this. Man,
I'm going to be successful.
I want to be successful.
Yes.
And it sparks that conversation going, great. And now we dive right into
Yeah.
how can we use this situation to be successful. Man, I'm telling you what, it's a far cry from the opposite.
Absolutely. I recently, and I don't remember what we were talking about. You get people that say all the time, you should do this, you should do that, and I would do this, or there's all this negative. And my wife Linda, when she passed away, but when she was alive, she would say, "Don't should on me." And a lot of times we go down this negative avenue and this negative mindset, and it's very true. We kind of condemn each other and we kind of put each other down, and we do all this negative. But how easy it would be if we just would shift that mindset and just be ultra positive.
Yeah.
Because every person and every store has things that they have to overcome. You're not unique in that. You're not unique. Everybody has stuff they have to deal with. And if we as a community, with our community selling guitars, can help each other have a positive mindset, and instead of being defeated, we can overcome some of these obstacles, and then we could get better and better and better at what we do.
That's exactly right. So, man, this is kind of turning into a Tony Robbins.
It is. I mean, we need to sell VHSs or something so we can make some money,
And if you don't know what a VHS is, then you're too young.
Yeah.
So, but anyways, but yeah. So yeah, we hope. Obviously, we hope this kind of sparks conversation. We would love feedback.
Positive conversation.
Positive
Yes.
conversation. Now, and to be honest with you, I mean, if you have some concerns,
Yes.
we've gotten some of those. If you have some concerns about this, man, we'd love it, because again, it could start a positive conversation
Yes.
that I think a lot of people can benefit from. So, but yeah, I guess that kind of concludes this.
It's shorter.
It's shorter.
I promised the first time the second one would be shorter.
Yeah.
It took the fourth one to get shorter.
The fourth one to get shorter.
I think it's
but,
shorter. I don't know. We haven't got a timestamp.
I don't know.
yet.
Ian's shaking
Well,
his
after
head no.
after we edit everything, it'll be shorter, because there's going to be a lot of edits.
That's right.
Which we should probably tell people that we don't edit this.
Yeah,
this is just live.
This is just live. So
unfiltered live, because we said crap and sucks, which we will talk about. We should probably not say that.
yeah. Are we allowed to say crap and sucks?
I don't
mean,
know.
this is adult.
Well,
audience, right?
that's pretty PG-13.
Yeah. So I don't know, man. So, my kid said crap the other day, and I almost didn't have a problem with it, but maybe maybe I didn't.
I think we're going the wrong direction. Can we end this?
Yeah, we can end this. All right, guys. Hey, you guys have a wonderful week.
Yes.
Have positive mindsets. Go out in there and do it. You guys can be successful.
See you in 2 weeks.
And see you in 2 weeks. And just a quick plug, if you really want to
No. I don't even want to listen to what's going on.
Do a guitar contest.
No, don't do it.
All right. Anyways, all right. Talk to you soon.
Thanks.